sponsored by OWC. Just update to the latest version of iOS? Well, here are 14 of the best hidden features, tips, and tricks that you need to know for iOS 14. Yes, just like the title implies, if a video in picture-in-picture mode is too distracting for you, but you still want to have the audio playing in the background, well, you can just swipe that video to the left or right side of your phone, and it will tuck away, only revealing an arrow tab. And then, if you want that video to come back, simply swipe that tab back out, and the video will reappear. Trying to go for that clean one homepage setup? Well, there's no need to delete each app off pages that you don't want anymore in order to remove a page, because now you can just remove an entire page simply and easily. Just long press on the home screen to get into what Apple calls jiggly mode, and then tap the page indicator icon, and then deselect the pages you no longer want displayed. In order to keep that clean look, we need the App Store to stop sending new downloads to a new page on our home screens, and thankfully, there's a new setting for this. Just head over to the Settings app, and under Home Screen, select App Library Only, and all of the new apps that you download from here on out will now head to the app library instead of a new page on your home screen. Speaking of the Settings app, have you ever been so deep in a section of the Settings app that you need to swipe back or tap back a few hundred times just to get back to the main level? Well, now you can just simply tap and hold the text in the top left corner, and you'll be able to quickly jump to whichever level of the Settings app you wish. Much easier. Have you ever taken a selfie and noticed that your image has been flipped around on you? Obviously here I'm holding up my left hand, and then when I go to take the photo, you can see in the photo that it's now flipped and now my right hand appears to be raised. Well, if you head into Settings, Camera, and then toggle on Mirror Front Camera, this now corrects that issue and mirrors your selfies. This feature actually was introduced in an iOS 13 beta from last year, but was never officially released. But it's supposed to be coming back in iOS 14, and when it does, you'll now be able to look directly at the screen while making a FaceTime call, and with this feature turned on, will automatically correct your eyes to give the illusion that you're looking directly into the camera for a much more natural-looking FaceTime call. In iOS 14, users can now zoom in much more on an image than previous iterations of iOS. Before, if you were able to double tap on an image to zoom in, the image would zoom as far as it possibly could with that double tap. But in iOS 14, after you double tap and it zooms in, you can actually continue to zoom by using the pinch to zoom gesture. I think by now we all know that pressing the volume down button when the camera is open, it takes a picture for you. And if you did not know that, well, then there you go. There's a bonus tip. In iOS 14, if you hold down the volume down button, you can now activate the quick take feature, which allows you to quickly start recording a video when you have the camera open and it's in photo mode. You don't actually have to switch the camera settings to video. Or if you press and hold the volume up button, you can now take burst photos. iOS 14 Photos app now lets users add captions to photos, and you can search on those captions to find specific photos faster and easier than ever before. Simply swipe up on an image to bring up the caption field, and then enter the desired text that you want to caption the photo with. Then, when searching through your photos, just type in the caption, and you'll see all of those photos that fit that description. iOS 14 focuses pretty heavily on security, and one new feature that didn't get touched on is turning on private Wi-Fi address. And you can do this by going into Wi-Fi and selecting the Wi-Fi that you're currently connected to, and then toggle on private address, which now helps reduce tracking of your iPhone across different Wi-Fi networks. If you have photos that you marked as hidden, you probably know that these photos disappear and go into its own hidden album. But pretty much anyone that knows to go and look for the hidden album will be able to see all of the photos, and they're not really hidden. To make things a bit more private, you can head into the settings menu, and under photos, you can turn off the hidden album, which will now hide that section completely from the Photos app until you turn it back on. It's still not a fully secure private album, but it definitely makes things a bit harder for others to access. In iOS 14, we finally now have 4K YouTube support, and it actually already works inside of the YouTube app on iOS 14 by going into a video and tapping the settings icon in the top right corner and select the 2160p option in the resolution settings. Even though current iPhones do not have 4K displays, they are higher quality than 1080, and so every little bit of a resolution bump certainly helps. The back tap feature is an accessibility feature, but it could be useful for others as well. This feature allows users to double or triple tap the back of their iPhones to carry out a function or task. So right now I have mine set up to double tap and take a screenshot, or a triple tap will take me home, but there are tons of different options available that could be extremely useful. Finally, this last feature is another accessibility feature that can really help those who are hard of hearing by receiving a notification anytime a specific sound is detected by your iPhone, like a baby crying, a car horn, fire alarms, smoke detectors, water running, etc. There could also be some value to those who might not be hard of hearing, but would like a notification for specific sounds, like for example, maybe you're watching a movie with headphones on in order to not disturb your sleeping baby with loud noises in the house, or maybe someone might be shouting at you while you have headphones on, trying to get your attention, while your iPhone can now send you a notification for those sounds. Before we end today's video, I do want to give you more information about today's sponsor, OWC. OWC offers a wide range of products for your Mac, like internal